Hi guys, this is Andy Henderson, live from Forward Thinking. Today is Friday and it's reflection section. This is the moment in the week where we unpack the week that's gone and maybe just have a little bit of a look at the week ahead that's coming in. What an amazing week. Come back from holiday last week, hit the ground running, awesome. What an amazing feeling when you go away and your team have got your back and you come back and everything is literally sorted. No dramas, no fires burning, just a great community to come back to and a great bunch of customers that we're working with and serving, and they're all doing really, really well. It's been brilliant. So what is reflection section? Reflection is all about, like I said, unpacking the week, looking at the highs and lows of business ownership. Why do we do it? We do it because it's really good for your mental health. And if we didn't do it, I think work and life becomes a bit like a sausage machine or a hamster wheel. You get that busy doing stuff. You forget as a person, as a human being, how good you actually are. How many new relationships you've started, how many existing relationships you've improved, how many interactions you've had, how many good deeds you've done, how much difference you've made in a week. And just by reflecting back, just looking at the 5 days that you've had, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just looking at all those interactions, all that stuff that you've done, and you'll actually start to realise there's some incredible highs in there. And yeah, there's one or two lows, but this week I've got to say, I'm sorry, I've no lows for you. Zero lows. Because it's been high octane. And those of you know me, I love, if you're a business owner yourself, you're probably a bit like me where you like new stuff, new ideas, new plans, new communities, new things to build and create. Because otherwise, if you didn't do the new stuff, the old stuff gets a little bit staid and maybe boring. You can kind of feel trapped. You've got to mix up that new stuff with the core of the business and obviously keep that engine running. So what are we doing? What are we reflecting on this week? Well, reflecting on, I think the big thing is this week is about getting stuff done. It's about ideas that we've had in our heads. I've had some ideas in my head about the shape of the business and how it's going to develop and progress as it goes. And I've made a decision to really double down and focus on one of our core pillars within Forward Thinking. That's our community pillar. That's our YAB pillar, Your Affordable Board. It's a community based on structured helping, not awkward selling. There's some great communities out there, business networking events and stuff that are based on selling, referring. That's great. It works. If you need referrals, if you need more sales, get involved. However, on the flip side of business, we all need support as business owners, as business leaders. We need support. I don't care whether you're a startup, a scale up, a more mature business, you're a CEO of a multinational business. There are some things that you can't talk about that are going on in here that you can't talk to your directors about, your fellow directors, your peers. You can't talk to your employees about, your teams, because there's a fear inside of us about being 100% transparent and authentic, because especially in a larger business sometimes, because there's an ego thing going, there's a status thing going, there's a fear of being seen as weak. But in our world, actually, talking about some of the pressures in your head and the frustrations that you've got and sometimes the lack of confidence or lack of knowledge, and maybe a bit of a feeling of imposter. If you talk about that stuff, it's a massive strength. But you've got to talk about it to the right people. Now, we build communities we call YAB, and those communities are all about, coming together, trading knowledge, not pictures, creating a safe space to talk. Because when you've got problems up here that you can't share with your board or your teams or your peers, who do you share them with? Yeah, you could share them with, your mates down the pub. And we do that as well because we like a beer and we like to unpack some stuff in a social context as well. But, share them with your mates down the pub. And if your mates aren't in business, what they'll do is they'll listen. If you've got some good mates, they'll actively listen. But sometimes they can't give you the guidance. And maybe you'll talk to your husband or wife, partner. They'll actively listen. But again, if they're not in business themselves, they might not be able to guide you. They'll be supportive, but they can't give you the guidance or advice or experience or expertise. The only place you can truly unpack this stuff is with fellow business owners, other people in business that get it, that understand the seat at the top of the chain, the leadership chair. You've got mouths to feed, you've got people's lives in your hands. These people have to roofs over their heads, children's shoes, food on the table, and you've got that pressure. It's not for everybody. But when you've got that pressure, who do you talk to when you've got challenges and problems and maybe even opportunities that you just don't know how to capitalize on? Well, I'll tell you who to talk to. You talk to other business owners, other business leaders, because they get it, they understand, they're in the same chair. They've probably gone through what you've gone through. They may have some advice and guidance on how to solve some of those problems and things that you're going through. So yeah, we're going to double down on YAB. So this week, today, actually, just in 5 days, we have decided that Manchester YAB's coming. It's out there, 5th of October we start. We're doing it at the used space on Paddock Street, Manchester. Absolutely phenomenal place. The space is amazing. It's a bit of us. It's very unique. Every corner you turn around, you get like a different wow moment. And those wow moments are many and plentiful. So we're doing that 5th of October. Can't wait for that. We've got a harem of supporters, ambassadors, evangelists, 7 or 8 people that are helping us to bring guests down to experience YAB and to be part of that community. We've also nominated Lancaster as a community, a city that needs more support. So we're launching Lancaster on the 10th of October too. And again, we've got a harem of great people there wanting to support that and help us grow and really put some deep roots down in those cities. So they're hugely exciting. We've done that. The marketing's live. We start pushing it out today to the ambassadors, and then all next week you'll start to see more stuff on LinkedIn. So hugely excited about that. We've had also this week's been amazing because one of the challenges we've had in business, and you might think business coaching, Sherpa guides, guys, you know how to run businesses, you know how to grow businesses. Yeah, but we still have challenges too. We still have things that we sit there and we scratch our heads about and think, well, how do we fix this thing? How do we sort that out? And the answer is to find the people with the knowledge, and either they'll help you and give you some support for free, but then at some point they'll turn the payment tap on and you've got to pay, which is great. We've no problem with paying stuff. And we found a brilliant socially conscious marketing agency that's going to help us with the next stage of our growth. You see, with what we do is because we're such an inclusive business, we want to serve and help everyone. It's very difficult to market that though. We do work with solopreneurs and startups. We do work with scale-ups, and we do work with multi-million-pound businesses with boards of directors and teams. It's very hard to get that one message to hit all. So we're doing some positioning with this agency. Great company. It's called Mike Pye & Co. So we had a team of 6 of them. We had 4 people from Forward Thinking, and we had 2 customers that spent a full day with us. A YAB member and one of our strategic partners as well, just to get their perspective on who we are, what we do, and where we're going with this stuff. And it was super valuable. So yeah, we're working on positioning, strategic campaign stuff, and just really simplifying our message. So that was really, really enlightening. So we've got YAB, we've got the strategic stuff. Had a really good partner session with one of our partners called Essential Sourcing. Many of you won't realize that my background's not in sales, it's not in marketing. Yes, I've run businesses, large multi-million-pound businesses, and driven them to success. But the cornerstone of my skill actually was something that I embarked on in 1999 to 2002. I became a master of the Chartered Institute of Supply Chain Management. So when Essential Sourcing, who are supply chain sourcing, procurement people, when they came to me and said, look, we want to partner with you, Andrew, we want to invest in that IP that you've got, we want to create strategic transformational programs that really work to enhance the position of procurement in organizations and help them develop a procurement and supply chain strategy that can see organizations save hundreds of thousands, if not even millions of pounds per year by buying correctly. So we formed that partnership. We had a great strategy session it's easy for me to say, on Tuesday with the whole team. We had a full day, and literally, one minute it was like 5 to 9, the next minute it was 10 past 4, and we could have still gone. We could have gone for another 5 or 6 hours because we had such a good time defining and refining the offer, the message, and how we get that out there. So expect big things from Essential Sourcing, and so the final massive thing that we're working on at the moment is in our village. There's what used to be a nightclub, really. It still is, but it won't be for long. And the two people there, good friends of ours that own it and run it, they came to us, knocked on the door, and said, "We need some help. The paradigm, the offer that we've got into the marketplace for the nighttime economy is not right. It's not working. We're not attracting the right people. We're not excited about it anymore." Anyway, this was 3 months ago. Today we launched the rebrand. We launched the marketing stuff. This nightclub was called Rendezvous, or Rios for short. Now it's going to be called Alter, and it's big. It's going to be big. It's a live music venue, so we're putting music as the core, and we want to invite the whole of Lancashire down on opening weekend. Anyway, I've probably said a bit too much. We do launch today, but it's not quite live yet. Anyway, that's a massive thing. We're changing lives. We're transforming businesses. We're saving marriages in the process sometimes, and helping people to really understand, crystallize, and start to realize some of those dreams that they've got. And when you do the work that we do, it's hard, and you have to give a lot of yourself away. But do you know what? It comes back tenfold in what you see these amazing leaders, visionaries achieve. And really, what do we do to sort of inspire that change? A lot of it's practical psychology, wired to the essential components, the essential sort of system of growing a business. That's what we do really well. And what we find is that all our customers have the answers already. All the leaders that we work with, the owners, the MDs, the CEOs, the founders, they have the answers. And you sit there, maybe owning your own business now, and thinking, "I don't have the answers, Andy. I need some answers. That's why I'd like to talk to you." No, you've got all the answers. They're just all jumbled up in a mess. What we have is the right questions to ask and the structure to ask them within, to help you create almost like a roadmap, a runway of actionable steps to help you crystallize and achieve that vision step by step. But not only that, we help you motivate and create belonging and belief in your team, so they come with you. That succession planning piece, the culture piece and community building piece within your organization, that comes by default. It's well good. It's proper good. So yeah, we've had a proper good week this week. We've caught up with lots of customers. We've probably met with 7 of our clients this week, and it's been absolutely top. I suppose one reflection for me is I had to have a difficult conversation with a really good friend and a proud supporter of our business and our mission, and we're a proud supporter of his. And it's a thing that's been playing on my mind for ages. How do I have the conversation? How do I position it? How do I frame it? But it needs to happen. And it wasn't like I needed to get personal with it. It was, I need him to know how I feel in order for him not to embark on the next stage of growth in his business and build that growth upon sand or a deck of cards. It needs to be built on really solid foundations. So I put my man pants on, and I had the conversation, and I was worried about how it would come across, but I needn't to worry. I think it was well delivered, albeit reasonably blunt, direct. But the feedback I've had from my friend after having that conversation has been really good, really reassuring, and it's helped him think about, before going to the next stage of growth and scale, it's helped him really think about what that really looks like. So I'm really proud of myself actually this week. I'm really proud of myself to have that difficult conversation. It's not easy, and I'm really proud of him for listening and acting and understanding that I was coming from a position of heart and positivity to have that conversation. Anyway, less about me, in fact, no, a few more things about me, sorry, and my team. Another reflection is franchisee number 2, Chris. He's done so well. I'm so proud of him. He's had such an amazing month. And it's not just in terms of figures, it's actually seeing the companies that he's working with, the leaders, the people that he's working with, and their feedback and their response, the difference in their thinking. That's the true magic of this. Amazing. And finally, before I move on to you, my son did two GCSEs early, and he got some really stunning grades, which we were really proud about. Of course, we got those grades. He's really, really super proud. He's really proud of himself. But what I didn't see, and I haven't seen in my son before, is a character trait that I didn't have when I was younger. It's essential, I think, in leadership. When he was in school with his friends and he opened up the envelope with his results in it, he was so pleased. He was emotional about it, and then he checked in with his friends. How are you done? How have you got on? And he realised that he'd got the best sort of results in his friend group. And then, as soon as he acknowledged that, he turned down his own light, he put a cloak over his light, and he hugged and embraced and celebrated his friends' successes whilst not wanting to really talk about his own. So, humility. I didn't have that. I've got a bit of it now, but seeing that in my son was very humbling, and it made me super proud. So that's it. Anyway, over to you. What are your reflections of the week? Get your diary up. I've got mine up on this screen here, just looking at all the stuff that's going on that we've done. I'd encourage you, just sit down for a minute, 15, 20 minutes. We encourage all our customers to do this on a Friday. Reflection section, vital signs. Look at all those great interactions you've had. Look at all those times when you made a difference. Look at all those people that have lit your life up. Look at all those people that you've lit their life up. You know, the wins, the personal wins, the business wins and stuff. And just remember, you're a flipping great person. You're doing great work. And if you're part of our mission and you're part of our sort of movement to change the way the world does business by putting people first, you'll recognize that there's one thing in business that cuts above all else, and it's putting relationships before revenue. Anyway, I hope you're going to have a good weekend. My weekend looks like a couple of beers tonight with Jenny, my business partner and wife of 20 odd years. We've got some stuff to do on Saturday, then we've got a big night on Sunday. We're going to the new venue in Worley for FML, Funk My Life. It's going to be amazing. So, listen, team, have a good one. It's been great to unpack a little bit with you and share some of our successes. Have a really excellent end to the week, and don't forget to reflect a little, and we'll see you on the other side sometime on Monday. Have a good one.